One of the big questions about the idealistic side of the internet that I wrestle with a lot, and I think all of us wrestle with, is that much of the idealism was incorporated in the architecture of the internet. It has a fundamental architecture of participation. So with the early internet, with the World Wide Web, everyone was equal. And yes, we saw first among equals arise. And bit by bit, the fundamental architecture has changed. You know, the web is still kind of this open playing field, even though you have companies like Google that have managed to put themselves into a privileged position. But, you know, app stores on smartphones, social media platforms are less open. And so there really is a concern that the architecture of the early internet, which was so egalitarian, which was so inclusive, is changing. And I don't know sometimes whether we all of us old internet hands kind of will just be seen as old farts who have not adapted. At the same time, I guess I also have a sense, if you look at history, every technology has had a democratic phase, and then it has the consolidation of power, and then democracy breaks out somewhere else. You know, I saw that originally with you know, the IBM PC, you know, which was, you know, pre-internet. I mean, even though it was happening at about the same time, it reached scale before the internet did. You know, here was this incredibly liberating thing where anybody could have a personal computer, you know, and computing came out of this, you know, tightly controlled world. You know, someone like Michael Dell could start a company in a college dorm room that went on to become super influential. Anybody could build a PC. The barriers to entry were low in software. There was all this innovation. And, you know, within some relatively small period of time, you had Microsoft and Intel and a few big companies in the driver's seat. And we saw the rise of the open source movement and the internet as sort of breaking open freedom again. And so in some sense, we watched that movie replay, you know, as the freedom has gone away. But it's, you know, it just happened somewhere else. You know, we saw the maker movement, you know, suddenly be, well, a lot of the energy will go. The internet's sort of, you know, boring. It's the playground of you know, venture capitalists. Well, nobody gives a shit about this cool stuff that we can do, you know, making devices. And so you had the maker movement, which was a kind of a play freedom movement again. I think we have some of that in biology happening today. You know, it's like, how crazy is it that there's people working on bringing extinct species back to life? I mean, that's, you know, so I guess I would just say that there seems to be a tendency, you know, of a repeating pattern in technology where you get all this innovation when things become open. People figure out how to take advantage of that innovation to sort of establish new barriers to entry into the market. And then people go somewhere else and that innovation breaks out anew.